Welcome to Breaking International News.
Khamenei warns Trump in first speech after war. This time, cyber attacks on Israeli military technology, secret documents leaked. Trump's new warning against Iran. UN nuclear agency warns Iran of new crisis. Iran's refusal to allow international inspectors to enter its nuclear facilities could trigger a new crisis, Grossi. Zoharan Mamdani Trump's new fear. Khamenei warns Trump in first speech after war. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei gave his first speech after the ceasefire. At this time, he gave a stern warning to U.S. President Donald Trump. This information was reported in a report by Al Jazeera on Thursday, June 26. Khamenei said that Trump has revealed the truth, that the United States will only be satisfied with Iran's surrender. He warned that Iran will never surrender. Our nation is strong. He said that Iran has won the war. They have given America a hard slap in the face. The United States has not achieved any success from this war. Khamenei said that the United States has directly entered the war because they thought that the Zionist regime would be completely destroyed. That is why they got involved in this war. Earlier, in a post on social media, he congratulated the victory against the Zionists. He said, "Congratulations on the victory against the wrong Zionist regime." He gave such a message aimed at Israel. Earlier, the media reported that Iran's supreme religious leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was staying in a secure bunker instead of his regular residence in Tehran. However, there has been no news of him since the ceasefire. The BBC reported that the country's environment has changed a lot in this long war. As a result, Khamenei will be shocked by the situation in the country when he comes out in public. The report said that when Khamenei comes out in public, he will see a completely different country. He will see a war-torn, scarred, and deeply angry Iran. The 86-year-old Khamenei took refuge in a secret bunker during the war out of fear of death. There, he is cut off from all forms of electronic communication. Even top government officials are unable to contact him. A ceasefire between Iran and Israel has been brokered by U.S. President Donald Trump and the Emir of Qatar. However, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has not completely ruled out the possibility of Khamenei being assassinated. When he takes office in public, he will see a scene of death and destruction. He will probably claim victory on state TV. However, he will face a new reality. This time, cyber attacks on Israeli military technology, secret documents leaked. A pro-resistance cyber unit has leaked important Israeli military technology. As a result, Israel has lost control of the technology that it has been holding exclusively under its control for a long time. This has been claimed by Iran's Tasnim news agency. The resistance group called Cyber Support Front has released secret documents of two major Israeli military products through cyber attacks. The first is Hattori X. It is a ground-based reconnaissance and target identification system, which is used for long-range precision strikes. The second is Spike LR-2, a fifth-generation multi-platform smart-guided missile system, which is designed in the context of modern warfare. Both these technologies are made by a military-industrial company called CR Casting/Exact. The company is a contracted supplier to Rafael and Elbit Systems. According to regional security analysts, these technologies were recently deployed for use in Israeli military operations in Gaza, Lebanon, and Iran. The Cyber Support Front said it was able to penetrate CR Casting/Exact's industrial infrastructure and obtain a full-scale data breach. Their cyber operation is essentially part of a larger strategic operation to dismantle Israel's military-industrial complex. Notably, this same cyber unit has also previously attacked Ben Simon Aluminum Industries, a contracted supplier to the Israeli Army and the Ministry of War. The Cyber Front claims to have disabled all of the company's operational systems and seized critical information related to key military installations. The information has already been handed over to the Resistance Movement's missile unit. The attack was preceded by a cyber attack on Rafael Systems, which resulted in a functional disruption of ongoing military technology. Analysts have warned that the continued vulnerability of Israel's military technology supply network is becoming increasingly apparent, and that more serious attacks on its military technology sector could come in the future. Trump's new warning against Iran. U.S. President Donald Trump has warned of a new attack on Iran at the NATO summit in The Hague, Netherlands. He said in clear terms that if Iran tries to restart its nuclear enrichment program, the United States will take strong military action against them again. The Times of Israel reported. In response to a journalist's question at the NATO summit, Trump said, "Of course, we will attack again. Right now, Iran does not want to enrich anything. They are just trying to turn themselves around. But they will not get a bomb. They will not be able to enrich uranium." However, Trump also hinted that there is a possibility of developing some relationship with Iran in the future. He said, "I think eventually we will develop a relationship with Iran." Trump described the recent ceasefire between Israel and Iran at the NATO summit as very egalitarian. He said both sides want a ceasefire and said enough is enough. He described the recent U.S. attack on Iran's nuclear facilities as a huge victory and a huge blow. Trump acknowledged that Israel has also suffered significant losses in the conflict. He said Israel has been hit hard, especially in the last few days. Ballistic missiles have destroyed many buildings. However, Trump praised the leadership of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, saying he has led very well. He should be proud. Earlier in the same conference, Trump claimed that significant progress had been made on the Gaza ceasefire and prisoner release agreement. He believes that such progress was possible due to the joint U.S. and Israeli attacks on Iran's nuclear facilities. He said, "I think we will have good news very soon. We are very close to a Gaza agreement." UN Nuclear Agency warns Iran of new crisis. The UN Nuclear Agency has warned Iran of a new crisis. The agency's head, Rafael Grossi, gave this warning. This information was reported in an Al Jazeera report on Thursday, June 26. Rafael Grossi, Director General of the UN nuclear watchdog, the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, said that the world could face a new crisis if Iran prevents international inspectors from entering its nuclear facilities. In an interview with a French radio network, Grossi said that Iran's nuclear program has not been completely destroyed, but it has suffered significant damage. If Iran suspends cooperation with the agency and prevents inspections, it would be a violation of international law. Grossi said that the IAEA's presence is not a benevolent initiative, rather, it is an international obligation. Iran is a member of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, NPT, so they must remain in the inspection regime. He warned that if Iran unilaterally obstructs our activities, it will bring the world to the brink of a new crisis. Earlier, Iran's parliament approved a plan to suspend cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA. The country took the step after a ceasefire with Israel. Iran's Noor News reported that the country's parliament passed a bill to suspend cooperation with the UN nuclear watchdog, the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA. The media outlet quoted a member of the parliament's presidium as saying that under the plan, IAEA inspectors would only be able to enter Iran with the explicit approval of the Supreme National Security Council, and if the agency guarantees the security of the country's nuclear facilities. Iran's refusal to allow international inspectors to enter its nuclear facilities could trigger a new crisis, Grossi. Rafael Grossi, the Director General of the UN-run International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, has warned that a new crisis could arise if Iran blocks international inspectors from entering its nuclear facilities. In a recent interview with a French radio network, Grossi said, Iran's nuclear program has suffered enormous damage. When asked whether Iran's nuclear program has been destroyed, he said, I wouldn't say it has been destroyed, but it has suffered enormous damage. When asked about Iran's recent suspension of cooperation with the IAEA, Grossi said that the scope and nature of the matter need to be reviewed. However, he clarified, the presence of the IAEA in Iran is not a favor, rather it is an international obligation. Grossi said that since Iran is a member of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, NPT, its participation under the international inspection regime is mandatory. He said, if Iran unilaterally suspends cooperation and blocks the entry of our inspectors, it will bring us to the brink of a new crisis. He also warned, such a step would take Iran outside international law. According to analysts, international concerns are growing again over Iran's nuclear program, which could have a major impact on the security situation in the Middle East in the future. Zoharan Mamdani Trump's new fear. The rise of Indian-origin Zoharan Mamdani in New York City politics has become a major concern for U.S. President Donald Trump. They are diametrically opposed in ideology, philosophy, and political stance. Mamdani himself claims that he is Trump's biggest nightmare, a progressive Muslim immigrant who is fighting for his true faith. Mamdani's growing popularity is evidence of a grassroots campaign like Trump's, breaking the traditional political paradigm. Standing on the threshold of becoming the first Muslim mayor of New York City, Mamdani's political journey has also attracted national attention due to his low financial status, immigrant background, and family connections. The 33-year-old Mamdani's net worth is estimated to be between $200,000 and $300,000, which is very insignificant compared to Trump's billion-dollar fortune. He earns a salary of $142,000 a year as a member of the New York State Assembly. The rapper previously worked under the name Young Cardamom and also earned royalties. Mamdani's father is renowned academic Mahmoud Mamdani, and his mother is Indian-American filmmaker Mira Nair. He was born in Uganda and became a U.S. citizen in 2018. Unlike Trump, Mamdani's politics are progressive, inclusive, and based on social justice. He supports rent control, free public transportation, expanded social housing, and higher taxes on the wealthy. While Trump's policies have included tax cuts, border security, and strict immigration controls, Mamdani has taken a stand against these policies. Several pro-Trump politicians have called for Mamdani to be deported. Mamdani described the attack as a death threat and Islamophobia. He said Trump and his followers have created a situation that is against the values of our city and our Constitution. Mamdani's U.S. foreign policy in the Middle East is different from Trump's, especially on the Palestine-Israel issue. Trump was a staunch supporter of Israel, while Mamdani has taken a stand for human rights and justice. Source: Economic Times.